Good morning, everybody. I love the acoustics in here, by the way. Welcome to another fitness-filled, fun-filled episode of Fishtown Features. I'm your host with the most, Mark Colazzo, where we highlight the people, the places, the thing that makes the Fishtown district thrive, exciting, and it starts with the people. Today, on this beautiful morning, we are here at Monarch Yoga, 171 West Burke Street, right by the Burke Station. And we have our hostess with the mostest. Why don't you tell the world who you are?
Hi everyone, I'm Michelle Dillon. I'm the owner of Monarch Yoga.
I have to tell you, and I think you know, when you think of physical fitness, you automatically thought of me. And by the way, I even wore sweatpants today.
You did.
That's about as close as we're going to get to activity, but we're going to try. But what I love here is the mood that you've created. Tell me a little bit about what you were thinking when you created Monarch Yoga.
Yeah, so when we landed in this space, we wanted it to be expansive in terms of the studio space. We had a lot of room for mats, and then also in the lobby space. We started all outdoors, and during the pandemic, when a time people just needed to get out of the house, off the screens, they'd roll out their yoga mat in Conrad Square, Penn Treaty Park, and talk to
Mural City Garden.
Yep, Mural City Garden most recently, last summer, fall. Talk to the people around them. So we wanted to create that similar vibe in our lobby where you're not just coming for yoga, rolling up your mat, running back home. You're coming for yoga, you're sitting here, putting your shoes on, saying hi to your neighbor, maybe having a cup of tea, and making it a community space as well as a space for fitness, like you said.
And that's the one thing, it's very communal coming in here. I mean, you have beautiful art on the wall, all sort of, has Philly themed, but very relaxing, very colorful. And I'm sure that's intentional to get people relaxed before they go in the room and sweat to death. Tell me about how you got involved in doing this and making it a profession.
Yeah, so I did my teacher training in Washington, D.C., where I lived. I was teaching 5th grade at the time and needed just another avenue of teaching. Teaching kids was great, but I was wondering, I wondered what it would be like to teach adults. So did my teacher training there, started teaching, moved up here, was teaching some yoga on the side, and then during the pandemic, I was unemployed and just started teaching some classes outside.
How long have you been in this space on 1 Burke Street?
May 2022, we moved in.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
For some reason, I pictured you here longer.
Yeah, we've been here forever.
But it's such a beautiful space. Why Fishtown? Why did you want to choose here to open? Is this your first studio?
First studio, first space. I live a food box up the street, Norris Square, and there's not a whole lot of spaces like ours in the neighborhood where you can come for yoga or a workshop or a meditation and reap the benefits short-term and long-term, as well as maybe get to know your neighbor. Or there's a lot of connections that happen here in this space with people who used to be colleagues or used to be neighbors or are actually
or
neighbors.
Used to be fit.
Used to be fit. Yeah. And there's just something about this neighborhood where there are a lot of small businesses and we all support each other. And that makes it really fun. There's a lot of behind the scenes of owning a small business that isn't so fun, but
Sure.
having other businesses around that are doing the same thing that I am, just trying to run a neighborhood business that brings some vibrancy, some excitement to the neighborhood that makes people want to live here and stay here a long time and raise families here.
No, and I think that's great. I think, wellness has become such a part, certainly part of this district. Mm-hmm. I always joke with Andrew from Front Street Cafe that every morsel of food, there's a reason for it. Yeah. And it's all about promoting wellness. And that's what you do here. But it sounds like it's yoga, but more than that. Yeah. So what do you offer here?
Yeah.
That you can't get anywhere else?
Yeah. So we have 30 classes a week here. Some are heated power, so you might sweat. Some are called slow flow, which are a little bit slower, not heated. And then we have a free meditation a week. We have 4 classes a week that are $5, which allows students that are maybe new or maybe don't have the funds to take a regular drop-in or buy a monthly, yearly membership to come in and try yoga. We want our practice to be accessible to everyone. We also have a roof deck on the studio, so pretty soon we'll be having 3 classes a week up on the roof. And we host a variety of workshops in our space. Some have to do with breath work, others with different types of yoga. In addition to that, we do off-site pop-ups. So right now we're at Myers Brewing. Like you mentioned last summer, we were at Mural City Garden. We're hosting 2 pop-ups in Kensington in March at Cantina La Martina and Queer Candle Company.
Oh, perfect.
Where they make all their candles. So we love having people come into our space. We also love getting out of our space and collaborating with other businesses. Yoga can go pretty much with anything. We've done yoga and books, yoga and coffee, yoga and beer, yoga and candles, yoga and brunch is happening. Just
How about yoga and a nap? Do you do those?
Yeah. It's called Yoga Nidra.
Oh man, I think it's probably, and it's funny. I give you all the credit. What are the hours here? And there's a reason I'm asking. Besides that, I want everyone to come and see you.
Yeah. So we start every day at 7 a.m. Monday through Friday, and then we have lunchtime class every day at noon, and then we start up again 4:30. Our classes end at 8:30 Monday through Friday, and then 3 classes both days on the weekend.
And I have to, besides give you credit for what wonderful things you've created here, you're a new mommy.
Yeah.
So we had little Quincy on the floor, 3 months old. She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And as we know, and she's a wonderful, sweet kid, all babies are, how do you do this? Like, do all that work, all those hours, and do the mom thing?
I have a really great team. Sarah, our director of operations.
Good answer, by the way.
Runs the show here. I have 18 teachers on our team that are teaching all classes. I'm actually only teaching 1 or 2 classes a week right now. I have a front desk staff of 6 to 8, and they're here opening, cleaning, welcoming, greeting, making everyone feel at home for all of these classes, because the business, I mean, we're 7 days a week.
That's great.
Hours, morning to night, every day. So it takes a very dedicated team that loves the space as much as I do.
Before I ask more of my ridiculous questions, how can people find you on social media? Yeah. Call to make appointments, come check out the space.
Yeah. So we're Monarch Yoga PHL on Instagram, and then our website is monarch-yoga.com. On there is our schedule. We do all our booking through Mindbody, so you can find our class schedule, all of that on there, and as always, just, the good old DM.
Now,
with questions.
For someone like me who just thinks of the old image of yoga, of the people crossing their legs, doing their chants.
Yeah.
I know it's not
standing on their head.
Yes. And you have to be very calm, right? How do you get a guy that's clearly not any of those things, either athletic or calm, to do this and to do it right?
I would say the majority of people that walk in the door do not walk in calm or flexible. They might leave feeling a little bit calmer and a little bit more flexible, but all of the classes we have are all levels, and so our teachers offer tons of variations throughout class. So there might be somebody next to you that can stand on their head and do all these things and have been practicing yoga every single day for 20 years, and there might be you who, can do a few push-ups here or there.
A few push-ups? How dare you?
How many? I
did 80 this morning.
Yeah, you're not a beginner then, Mark.
Yeah, I prefer not to do 8. I did them before I came here. But I know we're gonna do a little demonstration after we're done.
Yeah.
So what is this, like, maybe a myth about yoga that that people like me have that you face for a beginner coming in?
Yeah, so I think what you stated earlier is just I'm not calm, or I need to be flexible. I need to have all of these things in order to get it right. And one of the best things about yoga, about the practice, is that it's a practice, right? Like when we were little, we would go to soccer practice or play practice, and we wouldn't show up and get it right every time. But we are working towards being maybe a little bit more calm, having a little more less anxiety, using our breath to regulate our nervous system, release tension wherever it is, if you're sitting at a desk, shoulders, hips, all of the different things. And a big myth is that we need to get it right or be ready for yoga, when we don't really need to be ready or get it right. Just showing up. And
you had me at not have to get it right.
Yeah, no. And I mean, there's poses, there's warrior 1, warrior 2, but they look different on every body that comes into the space. And there is no perfect pose or way to
wait till you see me do it. You'll change your opinion quickly.
You can't.
What drew you to it?
Yeah. I grew up as an athlete. My dad was a soccer coach. I played soccer. I ran cross country. I did a lot of these activities that long term I knew, no, we're going to take a toll on my body. And eventually started doing some yoga, some stretching after soccer practice in high school. And I was like, there's something to this. And then in college, as I started running more, started doing more yoga and have stuck with it because of the physical benefits and the mental benefits. It is extremely helpful for anxiety, stress, like you mentioned, staying calm, regulating the nervous system, and the short-term benefits, walking out of a class feeling really good, calm, lighter, physically and mentally, and long-term benefits, just knowing the research and the science behind it all, it really works.
Well, thank you for just being part of the community. Again, with Michelle Dillon over here at Monarch Yoga, 171 West Berg Street. Please come in. Last time, Michelle, how do they find you?
Monarch Yoga PHL on Instagram, or our website, monarch-yoga.com. Thanks, Mark.
Namaste. We are back, and I'm hoping we have actually paramedics outside, so we are ready to go. I'm in your hands, Michelle. So tell me what we're doing today.
All right, we are going to practice a sun salutation, which is a series of movements. Great way to bring some energy into the body, get a little stretch in. So we'll start at the top of your mat, which we'll call it up here. Good. Reach your arms up towards the ceiling. Fold forward, so bend.
Like this?
Yep.
Like I'm bowing?
Yeah, like you're bowing. Soften your knees a little bit. There you go, yeah. Now,
I look so graceful, don't I?
You do.
Like,
get a halfway lift. Press your palms to your chin, so lengthen out the spine. Pull your chin away from your chest. Good, and then step your hands down, feet back. We're gonna meet in a high plank, so you know these. Yep.
like that?
Yep. Press your heels back, squeeze your legs, strong core. Got it, Mark. Good. Take a deep breath in. Low plank, so it's just a halfway down. Yeah, good. Upward facing dog. Press your tops of your feet down. So we're gonna lift the heart, lift your head like this. Good. Downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, lift your hips up, press through your hands. Good, and then take 3 breaths here. Relax your head. There you go. I don't hear you breathing, Mark. You're holding your breath.
Yes.
We don't want to hold it.
Which was the opposite of what you've told me to do.
And take one more breath in. Deep breath out. Walk up to the top of your mat. And then we'll do that one more time. Halfway lift. Fold forward. Shake out your hands. Good. Rise all the way to stand. Reach up. Look up. Fold forward. Bend all the way down. Soften your knees. There you go. Halfway lift. Flatten your back. Position. Hands down. Step back. We'll meet in the high plank. Nice work. Take a full breath in. Lower down halfway. Low plank. Good work. Up dog. Inhale. Press the feet. There you go. Good. Downward facing dog. Hips high.
Wait a minute. What's that one?
Hips high. Press back.
Ew, the one where your butt's up in there.
Oh, that one.
Yep, this one. Yes. Good job.
You're awesome.
That was great.
And you can look just as good when you come to Monarch Yoga. I am literally going to go take a nap. Now, but I'm actually going to sign up here. Thank you so much. I know she wants to do more, but I think you get the gist.